Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be.
Yeah.
Might even be good evening. So, I don't know if anyone ever has any uh, stress in their life. Is that something that we're all dealing with from time to time? I'll make
Oh,
a quick.
no, never.
You can just drive a car here in the States. I mean, anywhere in the world that's,
States. I mean, anywhere in the world that's
Yeah.
Why do you
exactly.
ask,
Isn't
Brett?
that true?
Yeah.
Why do you
Well, I'm just going to bring up some information. We've got a little announcement that on Tuesday afternoon. A little announcement that on Tuesday afternoon. I'm going to mute Bob because sometimes when he. I'm going to mute Bob because sometimes when he. Are you guys getting that feedback or the double speak?
Yeah.
Okay, I think it just stopped for some reason. Or the double speak.
Double
Okay, I
speak.
think it just. Double speak. All right, I'll share my screen real quick.
We're getting two complete sentences. At least I am.
That only happens to me in this meeting, though, so I don't know why.
I think it stopped
Oh, I
because the
hope so.
last thing you said was only one time.
I hope so. All right. On next Tuesday afternoon, 1 p.m. Pacific time. So do the calculations, whatever time zone you're in. There's a keys to stress-free living. So this is going to be a fun little half-hour discussion. And so I'll invite all of you to that are available at that time to participate. I'll put the link in the chat here, and we'll get started. But let me hurry and put that link in the chat for you as soon as I find where I put it. No, I'll just use it from right here. Let's see. Yep. So this is we've run this a couple of weeks. We're really getting more focused on specific topics. And so this week's topic is going to be stress. So put that in the chat. It's totally free to attend. So anyone is welcome to come and participate in that conversation with us. And as we're waiting for everyone to join here, if you want to put your information up in the chat, I encourage you to do that as well. Put my information up there as well. So great. Well, welcome everyone to the Mastermind Referral Group. Bob and I started this about a year ago to really connect people who are super connectors that like to network and make connections with other people. And it's not a requirement to make a referral, but the more you get to know each other and trust each other, then it's a lot easier to make referrals as you find out what everyone in the group does and what they're an expert at. Then it's fun to refer people to them that they can help. And each week we have a member of the group present to the group so we can get even a more in-depth understanding about what they do and how they help people. And this group is a lot larger than who's here today. There's over 160 people that pop in from time to time when they're available and don't have a busy schedule. They can pop in and learn something from that day. So all types of it's coming back. All types of backgrounds and
It seems like when my city, or I guess Bob, comes on, that's when the duplication starts.
yeah, Bob, can you mute? Yeah, Bob, can you please mute?
Yeah, sure.
Bob, can you please mute?
Yeah.
All right. So I yeah, you usually have the ability to mute somebody that I'm getting the background from, but for some reason Bob must be the host and has all control of the meeting. Anyway, I can hear better now. So what I was saying is that this group is much larger than it appears. We have people that pop in when they are available, and we hope to be able to bring some value to you and to your contacts by being involved in making some connections here. So I love to refer business. So if there's someone in my network that you would like to meet, please let me know. And as I learn more about you and your backgrounds, I try to just make those random connections also. Kind of learned a principle way back in the day from the late great Zig Ziglar, that you'll get all you want out of life if you help enough other people get what they want. And more recently, Anthony Robbins talks about the secret to living is giving. So it's kind of the core principle behind this group. So welcome, and appreciate everyone taking time out of their busy schedule to be with us today, and would love to turn the floor over to Cindy. Cindy Gordon's been a great supporter, not only to this mastermind group, but she also helps me out with all of the community pharmacies that I work with, and provides solutions to help them with cost-saving solutions and being able to provide better products for their employees. So looking forward to your presentation and seeing what's new, Cindy.
Awesome. Thank you for the opportunity. Always good to be part of this group. And I am going to share my screen when I have the privileges, please.
Yeah, there we go.
Awesome. Perfect. All right. So hi, everybody. My name is Cindy Gordon. I am a licensed health insurance agent here in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm licensed in a couple of states. But my main objective is to really find out the needs, the usage, and what's going on in somebody's health in their life, so I can really customize and find the right health plan. I think too many people, too many agents are just throwing plans at people. Here's your United Healthcare, here's a short-term medical plan. But I really like to educate people on the pros and the cons of a range of different options. I just want to say that these options, I work specifically with the under 65 population. I have a great referral partner colleague who just deals with Medicare and supplements. So great balance. So the plans that I'm going to be talking about today are specifically for under 65. They can be for small businesses, but mostly for self-employed people and 1099, because there is a pain point for this group around getting good health coverage and affordable health coverage. So I'm going to go through a couple of different plans, different options, show you how they compare. And again, there's no one right solution for everybody. It really comes down to, what would provide you with value when it comes to your health insurance. And value is not a usual common word that you hear when we talk about health insurance. There's no value in health insurance until I get cancer or something. I want to show you plans that hopefully will make you think a little differently. Okay. So just give me 1 second to get a little organized here. There we go. All right, so the first plan we're going to talk about, just a quick overview, is, sorry, okay, there we go. I'm in control now. Major medical plans, not 1099 people tend to go to the marketplace. We have that open enrollment period, November, December into January for the following year plans. And if you want to look for a subsidy, you have to estimate what your income is going to be for the upcoming year. For people who are self-employed or 1099, that could be really challenging, right? We don't want to overestimate because then we can lose out on subsidies, but we also don't want to underestimate because we would have to pay those subsidies back. But we can also psychologically stop ourselves from making more money because of the potential tax liabilities. So for a lot of people, realtors, consultants, it's really hard to predict what their income's going to be. So this option it could be challenging. Another problem with these types of plans are we got big out-of-pocket maximums. So if something happens, there's a huge financial burden. 2024, the max out-of-pockets run between $8,000 and $9,500. And that's just for the individual. If there's a family, you double that. So again, if something major happens, this family, this individual could have a huge tax bill, a huge medical bill to pay. In the state of Arizona, there are no PPO nationwide plans. That was eliminated. So we have expanded networks in the state of Arizona. It gives you access to different doctors, but you're not going to find coverage out of the state of Arizona on these major medical plans. The good news is if somebody has a pre-existing condition, if they have an upcoming surgery, if they have expensive medications, this is generally a good plan for them because the coverage is there for them in day one. Some of the other plans that I'm going to be talking about do look at pre-existing conditions and have limitations on the coverage. The next plan I want to talk to you about is called an indemnity plan. Indemnity, it pays a specific amount of money for the different medical services that it covers, and it covers everything from wellness to doctor visits to hospitalization, chemotherapy, on and on and on. What is nice about this is it pays the benefits whether you're in network or out of network. It's a nationwide PPO network, so you have that flexibility, but also for people who like to go to holistic providers, you have those benefits available to you. So you can go and work with a naturopath for your preventative, for follow-ups, for whatever, and you can have the benefits. They won't take the insurance, but you could self-pay, get a bill, file a claim, and get the benefits. So that, for a lot of people, is really cool. For larger medical needs, the way these plans are built, there's financial income protection. So a lady I know was on this type of plan. She was diagnosed with breast cancer. She had surgeries, radiation therapy. When all of her bills were paid, she ended up with $10,000 in her pocket. You don't see that from traditional insurance. So this could be a really cool option, especially for self-employed people. They need to take time off of work because of their sickness. There's that financial protection in place. Some negatives are the coverage can be a little light in certain areas, depending on the type of outpatient surgery you might have. That could be a problem financially, but there's also ways to negotiate those prices, a lot of resources. Emergency room visits. If somebody tends to go to the emergency room for the smallest medical situation, this is not a good plan for them because they're trying to deter people away from the ER. Emergency room is like a profit center for hospitals. They jack up the prices like crazy. So we want to, on this type of plan, you want to be a consumer of your healthcare costs. And I help my clients with that. But if somebody has an accident, more than likely they want to go to the emergency room. They're going to need that medical service. So we build in an extra accident plan that gives you extra money to help cover for those costs. Again, the nice thing about this is it is customizable. We can play with the plans to fit different budgets, a lot of flexibility. And if somebody has a pre-existing condition, an ongoing health issue, needs that surgery, this is definitely not the plan. There is underwriting and there is limitations in the first year of coverage for those pre-existing conditions. So we look at those things. I talk to people to find out those key points. The next plan is called the medical cost sharing plan. So this is a really, this is personally what I have, and I love it. So it's not insurance. It is a benevolent organization that has members, and it pools the funds of the members to pay for larger medical bills. So if somebody goes to the emergency room or has cancer or surgeries, your membership level will identify your financial obligation for those bills. So it could be $1,000, $2,500, or $5,000 on the plans that I sell. So if you go to the emergency room and you're on the $1,000 level plan, you pay $1,000. The medical cost sharing plan pays all the other bills, everything on top of that. So for people who want to have that sort of peace of mind, that financial protection, this is a great option. We can build plans. So there are plans that are just the medical cost sharing plan and talking about stress, BREC. These plans include up to 12 mental health counseling sessions a year, absolutely no additional cost. So that's really cool. It has telehealth. So it has a lot of added value if you want to use that. But there's also plans that include all the preventative coverage. That is an HSA compatible plan. So you can put aside money as a self-employed person, put aside money to cover out-of-pocket medical expenses. And there's also a copay plan with the medical cost sharing plan. Because it's not insurance, there's no network. So here in Arizona, I can go to Mayo Clinic. No one is going to turn me away. I'm a self-pay patient. They're going to cover the cost except for my financial obligation. So this works anywhere in the US. They will pay medical bills incurred anywhere in the world. The challenge is sometimes getting the necessary documentation in US codes and US dollars. So I had a client who was visiting family in India, he got sick, went to the emergency room. He said, I'm not going to be able to get any bills that are, in US terms. So that could be challenging, but Canada, probably Mexico, this would work fine. The third plan is through a company called America's Choice. And they have metal plans like, the ACA with your deductibles and your co-pays. They have HSA plans. I like this plan. It's an annual limited payout. So it pays a maximum of $500,000. Now, you might be thinking, well, what if I have cancer? $500,000 is not going to go very far. Yes, it will. Where $500,000 doesn't go far enough is a premature baby that is in the ICU for 2-3 months. That's when the bills get exorbitant. But for, most people, $500,000 is more than enough. The price is fixed for all age groups. So that helps with small businesses who want to offer this. They know what the prices are. There are no deductibles on this plan. There's no max out of pocket. It's a straight copay plan, and the copays are fantastic. The catch is there are, excuse me, There are limitations to the number of doctor visits, to the number of ER visits. So again, we want to get a sense, is this a relatively healthy person that wants to control their out-of-pocket costs and have a fixed monthly premium? This would be a great plan. So just some examples, an emergency room visit is a $250 copay. I mean, you're never going to find that on a traditional insurance plan. A pregnancy, full maternity coverage, vaginal birth, $250 copay. Insane, absolutely insane. So it again depends on the needs and the usage. So I just did a quick side-by-side for you to see the different plans. So started off with the marketplace. I didn't include a subsidy, so full price. For a 50-year-old male in Arizona non-smoker, you're looking at about $450. This plan had a zero deductible, but look at the max out of pocket, $9,450. I mean, that's insane. That's a lot of money. Copays are $40, specialists are $100, but the emergency room would have a $2,200 copay. Again, depending on the individual's needs, this is an option, right? But comparing it to the indemnity, which might be a good fit for somebody, the premium for a 50-year-old male in Arizona would be $416. There's a deductible, but the deductible only comes into play if somebody is hospitalized for more than 24 hours. And it's like car insurance. So, you know, you have an accident with car insurance, it's going to pay you $5,000 to cover the costs of repairs, but you have a $1,000 deductible. So it offsets the $5,000. They only pay a $4,000. This works the same thing. This is not an out-of-pocket deductible. It goes against the benefits that are available. The average cost of hospitalization in Arizona is around $4,000, $4,500 per day. The benefit for the first 4 nights on this plan that I quoted is $9,000. So again, more than enough money to cover that hospital stay and offset the deductible. There's no max out of pocket. The benefits for a doctor visit is $160. What does that mean? It means you go to the in-network doctor, you give your card, you get the discounted price. Generally, a PCP visit discounted in this network would run about $80 to $125. The insurance will pay the doctor their amount. When the benefit is larger than the cost, the policyholder gets a check. So if the bill ended up being $120 that was paid to the doctor, the policyholder would get a check for $40. Anybody else getting checks from their insurance company? Guarantee you'll say no. For specialists generally are a bit more expensive, so there might be some balance owing by the policyholder between $50 and $100. That's usually where it ends up. And again, the emergency room, as I said, the benefit is low for the emergency room visit, but if there's an X-ray, then you get more money. If there's an MRI, then you get more money. If it's an accident, that accident plan would kick in, you get up to $4,000. So depending on the situation, but look, if you're on traditional insurance, you're still going to have $2,200 to pay. So not that far off, might be a little bit of a bigger bill. With the cost sharing plan, so I'm quoting $550 for that 50-year-old male. And again, this is a plan where you want to limit your out-of-pocket costs. You want to know if something happened, all I have to pay is $1,000. And that's on 3 medical needs a year. Okay, if somebody had a bad year and there's a 4th one, totally paid by the medical cost sharing plan. With this copay plan, very affordable copays for doctor visits, specialists, and then you have that limit on the ER costs. And then finally, the American Choice, no deductibles, no out-of-pockets, about $479 monthly price, but really low copays. So again, it really is a matter of getting the information, knowing what's the right fit for the client, and that's what I do. Before I open this up to questions, one other product that I just started selling. It's so cool. It's a great pair with some of these other plans. It's a reimbursement plan. And it's really perfect for someone who is focused on being fit and healthy and well. Because what it does is it reimburses you for out-of-pocket costs in different categories of health. So for example, somebody had traditional insurance, right? And they wanted to do their wellness with a holistic provider. They could use this plan. It's $107 a month, do all of their preventative labs and whatever doesn't go through their traditional insurance plan, and get reimbursed for it up to $4,500. They can get their preventative eye exam. You don't need eye insurance, eye covered insurance for this, because you would get reimbursed $250 a year for an eye exam. Preventative dental exam, you would get reimbursed for $250. Mental health counseling, somebody on traditional insurance, they might have a copay of $100 for mental health counseling sessions. They're going every week. They're going to be paying $400 a month. This would reimburse them up to $3,000 a year. I mean, that's amazing. And again, you're only paying $107 a month for this, and then you would get back your $400 of copays. If you are a member of a gym, if you take any type of classes, fitness classes, ski passes, they will reimburse you up to excuse me, $250 a year. And you can incur any of these expenses in Canada, in Mexico, or in the US. If you wanted to work with a nutritional counselor, a nutritionist, a naturopath, anybody who's helping you with your nutritional health, meal plans, they'll reimburse you up to $500. And if you want to stop smoking, $500. So there's over $9,000 of potential reimbursements. This costs less than $1,300 a year. It's insane. So now, any burning questions as people who live with health insurance, I'm happy to answer them.
Questions?
I got a question to talk about. Hi. Very nice presentation, really laid out beautifully. Got a good picture of what's going on. You mentioned telehealth in one of the programs. Can you use telehealth for mental business as well, more than the 12?
Sorry, you're breaking up. I wasn't able to hear you.
Can you hear me now?
A little bit better. I'm going to turn up my volume as well.
Okay. So I'm wondering if you can use telehealth visits for mental health visits above the 12 visits that are allowed in that one policy you mentioned.
So with, I think it was the indemnity, it depends on the telehealth plan. So I know with the indemnity coverage, there definitely is the telehealth coverage for, oh, I know what you're talking about, the medical cost sharing plan, the 12 free mental health sessions definitely are virtual or in person. Yes.
But can you extend beyond the 12 with telehealth?
So it's a separate company in that medical cost sharing plan that provides the network of the mental health counselors, but those are virtual calls.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Great question.
Other questions for Cindy? I'll chime in then. Do employers need to wait until enrollment, or are these kind of add-ons that they can bundle with the current plan that they have in place?
Great question. So you are never locked into your health coverage. As an employer, you can cancel it at any time. if you find something that's a better fit. Generally, I find small business employers are busy, and health insurance is like, oh my God, I don't want to deal with this if I don't have to. But we try to really take as much of the pressure off of their shoulders. Like, when we start working with a company, I tell my clients, the business owners, just text me when you got a new employee. Just text me when somebody is terminated. I'll take care of everything. Because the administrative piece of it is so confusing sometimes. And, you have an office administrator or sometimes even the business owner who has 40 other things that they're dealing with that are more important because it's generating revenues for the business. Take care of that stuff. I'm going to be part of your HR team and I'll take care of it all. So
Awesome.
we definitely provide that concierge service.
That's great. Other questions for Cindy?
Everybody's got their health insurance all buckled down. Awesome.
Yes, yeah. Well, great presentation. Appreciate you presenting that to us today, and wanted to spend some time going around the room here and make some introductions. If the folks that are not on camera, if you're comfortable in coming on camera, it'd be great to see you and hear from you and what you do. We'll kick it off. We heard from Cindy, and then Jasmina is actually going to be presenting to us next week, so we're going to get to hear more from her in depth. But why don't you go next, Jasmina, and tell the group here what you do, what you're an expert at, and get them excited about tuning in next week. And you're on mute, so you need to come off mute.
I see. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Hi, my name is Yasmina Baylog, and I'm a global entrepreneur and health and wellness coach, and I work in the regenerative medicine space. And I use an effective and affordable non-invasive technology, which initiates cellular repair and rejuvenation, and it resets our genes into healthier and younger state. And my passion is improving the quality of life, optimizing how your body works, regardless of age. And I'll be telling you more next week.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Yeah, and also invite you to participate in Tuesday's discussion too with Dr. Bob, myself, and Tim Daniels, the Well Wave Now on
Stress.
managing stress.
Awesome. Yeah,
Very
that sounds
beneficial
very
to you as well. Cheryl McBride, why don't you come off mute and go next?
Hi, I'm Cheryl McBride from Arizona. And are you leaving money on the table? Did you know that you can create an account to borrow from or even create lifetime income? We helped a client and he passed away just after we had his plan in place. We only have today. Are you prepared? Book a time with me to talk about what your financials will look like when you walk off the planet. And we work with individuals, families, and small business. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you. Thanks for being here. And Michelle, why don't you go next, Michelle?
Hello, everybody. Sorry, I got caught with a Jolly Rancher on my cheek. I am Michelle Elster. I'm CEO of Rabin Roberts Research. We're a company that has been around for over 60 years. I'm a second generation owner of the business. We help companies make companies that have very large decisions to make better informed decisions using qualitative and quantitative market research data. So using that information is developed through surveys, focus groups, one-on-one in-depth interviews, and we inform those decisions using the voice of their either current or potential customers.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Marina, I don't know if you would like to introduce yourself. You don't have to come on camera, but you'd have to come off mute so that we could hear you. Marina or Alyssa? And
Saying that she's under the weather, so I'd like to volunteer.
okay,
So, hi everyone, my name is Alyssa Fernandez. I'm a freelance graphic designer with a small business called Cooliative. And I'm your go-to for your creative presentations like Cindy just gave us right now. I can design those for you. I can design a LinkedIn banner that will really stand out against your competition, as well as creative brochures for your website. So reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'd like to meet you and talk to you about your next project. Thank you very much.
awesome. And have you put your contact information? Yes, I saw it up in the chat. Perfect. Appreciate that. And then Alicia, would you like to come off mute and introduce yourself? Okay, come back to you then later. Mr. Mike Hayes, my friend who has more experience in broadcasting than everyone in this group put together. So Mike Hayes, why don't you go next? Come off mute, my friend. You'll need to come off mute, Mike. First rule in broadcasting, we got to hear you. You're still on mute.
Sorry about that. I was
There we
actually
go.
double recording. I record breakout room interviews. So I'm doing something really exciting. My town is Lafayette, California, and it is actually, and I say this for the benefit of everybody, it's actually the 14th wealthiest city in America. And what we're trying to do is work with Oxford University and the Commonwealth Club, which is internationally renowned presidents of the United States speak there, to really make Lafayette the Mecca of AI. I call it the Lafayette AI Renaissance, which I think is much more appealing than Mecca, to tell you the truth. But anyway, it's coming together extremely well. We're meeting. I'm going off to Oxford to start what is called a live case, to do it on an ongoing basis, like a case study that's live. And we're going to track it and we're going to report on it. But we also, there's a directory, a very exclusive directory in Lafayette that you can only get in if you live in or have a business in Lafayette. So we're branching off that to open up that directory to other people who can help people in Lafayette with stress. And we really want to develop hope for everybody. And we are looking for mental health counselors. That's one thing missing in our Well Wave Now group, Breck. So that's what I'm doing. It's very exciting and looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. Armand, you're up next.
Thanks. Yeah, I work with business owners, professionals, and executives to help them take back control of their health for long-term sustainability. And so what's involved there is helping them understand the different things they need to realize to lose body fat, improve their muscle tone, to get their energy back, things along those lines. And so I'm in the longevity space. And so my goal is to help people have a better health span and lifespan for long term.
Yeah, awesome resource. Definitely do a one-on-one with Armand if you haven't done one yet. And then Dr. Bob Levine, one of my partners in crime here with Well Wave Now.
Hi, Breck. Thank you. Can you hear me okay? Because I've been having some trouble with my microphone.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Yeah. So hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Bob Levine. I have a PhD in brain research, specializing in neurology and psychiatry. And I've also been a holistic health practicing clinician for over 25 years. And that's really where my current passion is, helping people get out of chronic pain, stress, and symptoms of all kinds of stress-related conditions, which is just about every condition on the planet right now. Stress is the number one factor and the number one killer, really, of everybody. But in any case, I have an online virtual practice, so I have clients from all over the world who come to get my services, and I give people what they need to know and what they need to do to get themselves out of pain, become their own healers, which is really how healing works. And the modalities I use are proven in clinical trials with several thousand people to show that they're very very effective. So when somebody works with me, they know they can get what they, so they get the results that they want. And I just want to say that Breck has already mentioned, I hope to see you next Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific for our inaugural show that's coming up with me and Breck and Tim Daniels and Mike Cave. So thank you very much.
Yeah, no, appreciate it. And Dr. Bob, he kind of undersells himself a little bit. He spent about 20 years researching at the Henry Ford hospital system, and his knowledge and very in-depth knowledge of how drugs react and how the body reacts to those, and how you hear about all of these studies that are done, and those studies are only done on that one medication, not when the patient is on a multiple set of medications. Then all of the data is got to be thrown out the window because the drug interactions are so much different. So it's just a wealth of knowledge in not just healthcare alone, but specifically the biology behind what makes us tick. So
can I add a quick pin into that as well?
Sure.
That Dr. Bob just came out to California because I gave him a referral, and we created a podcast walking. And it was great fun because he's also an expert at walking. So we walked around the Lafayette Reservoir, talked about walking, talked about podcasting, and we really had a blast. And we ran into friends. It was so much fun. And that's one of the new things we're doing. I call them meeting greetings. So you can be out walking and learning from people like Bob. So it's really fun. Great, Bob. Thank you.
Awesome.
Can I say something about that? When Mike says I'm an expert in walking, I just want to mention that the average person takes between 30,000, 50,000 repetitive movements every day, and walking is a big part of it. Most people are not walking properly. It creates big problems in terms of chronic pain, postural misalignments, forward head posture, ultimately ending up on a walker. There's a whole lot of reasons why proper walking is valuable. So I just want to make sure that people know that that's the background behind the walking business.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I always refer to you as also our posture police, because if we're not sitting up straight, we're going to start to feel aches and pains. So, and it's hard when you're hunched over a keyboard all day long. It's pretty hard to keep really good posture. So, hey, up next, Professor Paul. It's good to see you again.
All right, good to be here. Now that the world, well, since we don't move our clocks, I no longer have a conflict. My other group is right before this, and so I'll get to come over here and see everybody much more often. And by the way, speaking of walking, I guess this is the theme from now on, from this point on anyway. Came back from the dog park where I take my Ariel for a walk, or she takes me for a pull, one of those, and we put in our mile around. So hey, what the heck. Yeah, last Monday I launched the new Google business page profile. That's what it's called now. You no longer have a Google business page, you have a Google business profile. Go figure. It's okay, they'll change the name 6 months from now and who knows and whatnot, but I'd be happy to extend the special that I did on Monday to this group. It's you have to set up the 15-minute interview for the whole thing, but it's $197, which will go up to $297 and then $497 about 6 months from now. So that is a revamp of your page. That is a redo of your business page. That is a let's build one. You don't have one. I keep calling it a business page. Your business profile, it now ties into maps and pinpoints and all sorts of stuff, because that's where we are. Google needs to know where you are, and so do your people. So be happy to help you set that up.
Paul, do you have an affiliate program for that?
Yes, we're loading. We are actually dotting the I's and crossing the T's, or dotting the T's and crossing the I's. Literally yesterday, we're probably looking at paying out some good money for people who refer things to us. So
cool.
Set up a 15-minute with me and I'll go over it with you.
Excellent. You're probably correcting information if phone numbers or addresses are incorrectly posted and doing all of that.
Yeah, and you know, one of the people that sometimes people struggle with, and Google struggles with this. I don't know why. It's if you move from Elm Street to Oak Street, and if there's any distance in between, Google says, "Oh, well, but isn't?" Yes, I moved my business from here to there, like a whole lot of people do. So across town moves seem to be much more difficult than moving from Indianapolis to Salem, Oregon.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that there's a lot of misprinted information out there. It's good to do an audit occasionally to see how your
Absolutely, that's
business
what we
is
do.
listed.
Especially
Yeah.
on your inventory and updating the verbiage and all of this, because that's what search is all about.
Yep. Excellent. Well, thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. So, Alicia couldn't get off mute, and so she left a note in the chat what she does. So she's with Morningstar Business Solutions. So small business concierge can help with the behind the scenes work, help you with your social media, do bookkeeping, administrative work. So that's what her expertise is. And so hopefully she'll come back another time. We'll get to know her better. But she's got a web link there to the Morningstar Business Solutions. So don't want you guys to miss that. I think most of you know I'm in healthcare. Been in healthcare for over 20 years now, and work with a network of pharmacies all across the country, about 20,000 of them that we're now in the process of finding out which ones would have the space to put in a wellness clinic, focusing again on wellness, not sick care, and making sure that everyone's getting their annual checkups that they should be getting. We are personalizing medicine, so getting patients off the medications that are doing more good than doing
More harm than good.
Good. Yeah. Yeah, I get that dyslexic gene coming out in there, but yeah, so it's a really interesting project to help patients really focus on a lot of things we've talked about here today with some of the experts like Armand and Dr. Bob. Really longevity, and Jasmina, is all about that too, living longer. There's a health risk assessment tool that we're about to launch that literally can extend a decade of your life, and you just go through the questionnaire, and the first like 3 or 4 items on there, if you need to make changes, most of us won't even have to make some of the changes on there. It'll actually add so many years to your lifespan, and collectively those first 3 or 4 things add 8 years, and then if you do all the other things that are on there, then it will add closer to 10 years on your life. So kind of a fun little tool that's about to launch. So wanted to give Paul, you got your hand up, come off mute.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure everybody knew. I found this out in the previous meeting. You know how we always tell you to go click on those 3 dots at the bottom of the chat? They ain't there no more. They're now at the top of the chat. So if you're looking for those 3 dots to save, I'm going, what? And this is the 20, like I said, I'm the Zoom guru 6 weeks ago. So whatever Zoom was 6 weeks ago, I'm good at. Whatever it is today, I don't know.
I must not have an update because they're still at the bottom of mine.
Oh yeah, well mine's in the upper right, and I'm also watching my NCAA brackets implode as we speak. And
yeah, I know exactly. Well, want to give the last word to Bob Friedenthal. What part of the world are you in now? Are you back in California? You were here in Scottsdale for a while now.
Yeah, no, I'm in Phoenix now. So gonna be here for a year, Rancho Mirage. It's lovely here. So yeah, we have a lot of things coming up. I'm like inches away from some announcements. You can go to mycity.com, and at the top There's an AI that you can write in there. And what we're doing is we're going to be creating an edit where you can personalize it. You know, most of the AI materials that I see written is it's like third party, where instead you can say, I would like something like that, or why don't we, or something like that, make a difference. Listen, we've become very impersonal in a world that should be personal, right? Isn't that where our real key is? It's the relationships. Breck, you mentioned earlier about relationships. So if you could personalize your AI, boy, wouldn't that be kind of nice? So that's the main stuff. In my city, GoDaddy has been hosting mycity.com for years, and they had a change in their operating system, which we had to update, and just getting everything taken care of. It's all written in PHP, and I think the latest version is 8.6, if I'm not mistaken. So you got to keep up on the technology stuff, right? Other than that, I'm loving these meetings. They're because you get to meet people, find out who they are, what they're doing, and all that good stuff, and it makes a world of difference. Still, most people still get their business by referral. Are you finding that?
Yep.
Okay, cool. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you. So tune in next week. Jasmina will be here presenting. And then on April the 4th, we've got Dr. Damar Lewis, one of our PharmDs that I work with, will be presenting on April 4th. So next week, come and we'll learn more about what Jasmina is doing these days. And thank you, everyone, for being here. We'll give you back 5 minutes of your day. You can get caught up on a couple of emails before your next call. Mike?
Oh, I was just going to agree with Bob that I think personal referrals are going to become far more important in the era of AI when there's so much fakery. That's why networking is going to become very important, and everybody should check out My City. So
Yeah,
absolutely. We're at the point that AI is creating videos from you, and it looks like you, and it speaks Japanese, Chinese, Korean. It's mind-boggling, crazy.
yeah.
The story that
Thank
I
you.
love to tell.
Thank you,
hang on.
Cindy.
You'll
Thank you for
appreciate
the presentation.
the story I love to tell is Mark Spitz. I call him my brother-in-law, that he's married to my brother-in-law who's a dentist. His son did a impersonation using AI of Mark Spitz. I could not tell the difference.
Wow.
Could not.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing now.
Yeah, I got attempted spamming a guy. It was posing as a friend of mine and asking for a quick favor, just a little gift certificate, just $200, and total scam.
It's
Wow.
only going to get worse.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take
All
care.
All right.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thanks, guys. Bye-bye.